patuloy na nagbibigay serbisyo. Pag-asa at saya. GMA Regional TV. Kapuso ng bawat Pilipino. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Good evening. This is your GMA Regional TV Weekend News. The biggest, the latest as local news matters. Attorney Sedfrey Cabaluna.
Caitlin Revilla, broadcasting from GMA Complex in Iloilo City.
We'd like to welcome our Kapuso viewers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao,
as well as our kababayans in different parts of the world.
This evening, we will be joined by Joan Ponsoy from Balitang Amyanan, Rain Palino from GMA RTV Bicol, and Adrian Prietos of One Western Visayas.
We also have other counterparts from the other regions. Joining us tonight, Daryl Marie Sarmiento of One Western Visayas, Nico Sereno of Balitang Bisdak, and Sheila Vergara Rubio of One Mindanao.
The coronavirus disease 2019 continues to spread around the globe with more than 21 million people infected. In the Philippines, despite the number of recoveries, cases continue to increase every day, which is now more than 157,000. Daryl Marie Sarmiento of GMA Regional TV, One Western Visayas, has the details.
As reported by the Johns Hopkins University in Medicine Coronavirus Resource Center, there are now over 21.1 million COVID-19 confirmed cases around the globe. More than 13 million have recovered, while more than 700,000 have died. The number of cases in Philippines continue to increase. As of the latest update from the Department of Health, the number of COVID-19 cases increased to 157,918. 72,209 have recovered, while 2,600 died. In North Central Luzon, there are 4,490 COVID-19 confirmed cases, with 2,209 recoveries and 145 deaths. According to the latest report from the DOH Center for Health Development, Region 1 has 559 confirmed cases. Region 3 or Central Luzon has 3,433 COVID-19 cases, while the Cordillera region has 498 confirmed cases. In the Bicol region, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases is at 794, with 358 recoveries and 21 deaths. Albay and Camarines Sur have the same number of cases with 280, 28 in Camarines Norte, 59 in Sorsogon, 33 in Catanduanes, and 114 in Masbate. In Central Visayas, there are 17,696 COVID-19 positive cases, 4,069 of which are active, 12,591 have recovered, and 1,036 have died. 3,967 cases are in Cebu Province, 117 in Negros Oriental, 114 in Bohol, and 3 cases were recorded in Siquijor. In Metro Cebu cities, 9,342 cases of COVID-19 is in Cebu City, 2,123 in Mandaue City, while Lapu-Lapu City has 2,030 confirmed cases. In Eastern Visayas, according to DOH Region 8, a total of 1,539 COVID cases are recorded, with 993 recoveries and 6 deaths. Leyte has the most number of cases in Region 8 with 677. Southern Leyte has 182. Biliran with 61. Samar has 371. Northern Samar with 53 and 23 positive cases in Eastern Samar. 89 are from Tacloban City, while 83 are from Ormoc City. COVID-19 cases in Western Visayas increased to 2,586. 1,183 have recovered, while 34 have died. In the region, Aklan has 8 confirmed cases, 18 in Antique. Capiz and Guimaras have 11 cases each, 223 in Iloilo Province and 143 in Negros Occidental. OFW repatriates, locally stranded individuals and APORs still have the most number of cases at 1,426. Meanwhile, cases in highly urbanized cities in the region continue to increase. Bacolod City now has 245 cases, while Iloilo City has 501. In Mindanao, a total of 4,815 confirmed COVID-19 cases were reported. The death toll is now at 115, while 3,076 have recovered. Davao Region has recorded a total of 1,685 confirmed COVID-19 cases, with 1,176 recoveries and 57 deaths. Zamboanga Peninsula now has 1,006 confirmed COVID-19 cases, with 510 recoveries and 28 deaths. Confirmed COVID-19 cases in northern Mindanao rose to 874. 474 have already recovered, while the number of deaths is at 13. Suksargen has reported 349 confirmed cases, 220 recoveries, and 5 deaths. Caraga has recorded 377 confirmed cases, 304 recoveries, and 1 death. And in BARMM, a total of 524 confirmed COVID-19 cases were recorded. Recoveries increased to 392, while death toll is at 11. Together with cameraman Romel Porquia, Daryl Marie Sarmiento for GMA Regional TV.
Today marks the start of the no face shield, no ride policy in all public transport as mandated by the Department of Transportation. While the Department of Labor and Employment also decreed that wearing of face shields on top of face masks will be mandatory in workplaces starting today. Daryl Marie Sarmiento of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas has the details live. Daryl?
Set apart from physical distancing and proper hand hygiene, health authorities suggest wearing of face shields as a way to avoid contracting the virus. Starting today, the wearing of face shields for all passengers in public transport, whether through land, air, or sea travel, was declared mandatory. Face shields are also required inside commercial establishments and workplaces as another layer of defense against COVID-19. However, not everyone seems to like the idea of wearing a face shield. In Iloilo, face shield peddlers are scattered along the downtown streets. For Maymay, who works as a jeepney driver, the face shield somewhat affects his vision, but he can tolerate it as long as it is for his and his passengers' safety. According to the Land Transportation Office, drivers and passengers of private vehicles are not required to wear face shields, but are encouraged to do so. Bacolod City, the city police office focused on reminding drivers of PUVs, taxis, and tricycles that they will be fined and sanctioned if they will allow passengers to board without face shields. In Dagupan City, passengers and motorists of public utility vehicles strictly follow the mandatory wearing of face shields beginning today. For today, violators were only given a warning, but starting Monday, penalties will be imposed by the Public Order and Safety Office during the massive Oplan Sita. In Naga City, upon entry inside the northbound jeepney and van terminal, security personnel check if the passengers are wearing face shields. Though most passengers were seen wearing face shields on the first day of implementation, there were some who were not aware of a new guideline. Vendor Sara took the opportunity to sell face shields and face masks at the terminal entrance. She says she did this so that passengers do not need to return downtown just to buy a face shield. In Cebu, the no face shield, no ride policy was also strictly implemented at bus stops around the city. Most of the passengers are aware of the DOTR memorandum and were seen wearing face shields apart from face masks. Buses refused to board passengers not wearing face shields. Wilfredo, a construction worker, was one of those who were not able to ride the bus bound for Barangay Bulacau. According to him, he does not have enough money to buy a shield. Meanwhile, at the Cebu Pier area, passengers are seen wearing their face shields. Cebu Port Authority guards deny entry of people not wearing face shield inside the pier premises. In Davao City, authorities are strictly implementing the mandatory wearing of face shields inside public utility vehicles. In Quimpo Boulevard, passengers who are not wearing face shields were told to step out of the PUV and were given a lecture about the policy. Said health authorities further advised the public that as much as possible they should avoid going out of their houses if not necessary. Said
Daryl, aside from these commercial face shields that are being sold on the market or peddled on the street, is it allowed to wear improvised or do-it-yourself face shields?
said yes, they can, as long as they are following the DOH recommendations. It should be made of plastic or acetate material, provides good visibility, fog resistant, and should provide coverage for the whole face and should be easily disinfected. Said
Thank you, Daryl Marie Sarmiento of GMA Regional TV, 1 Western Visayas.
From the original schedule on August 24, the Department of Education has moved the opening of the school year 2020 to 2021 to October 5. Luan May Rondina of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak for the details.
A conference with the regional directors was immediately called after Department of Education Secretary Leonor Briones made the announcement yesterday afternoon. DepEd 7 Regional Director Salustiano Jimenez said while they are ready for the August 24 opening of classes, a number of things still have to be considered, and one of these is the quarantine status in some regions.
Siguro to give way yun sa tanong tungod kay nag-ECQ pa magod ang other regions. Like ang Manila, ang NCR nag-ECQ, so kuan to check yun nga basit ang tanan kuan na ma-lower na ang status mo na appeal og recommend ni secretary.
The DepEd formally started school year 2020-2021 after their virtual launch in Region 12 last August 10. A regional ceremonial kickoff will also be held in Central Visayas. Secretary Briones further said that learning this year will be blended until a vaccine is made available. The national kickoff with the theme Handang Isip, Handa Bukas was opened in Region 12. A dry run of what will happen during online classes was presented, which included modular teaching and the use of radio and television. In Lapu-Lapu City, less than 50% of the modules to be used for the first week of the school year have been printed. Abono Elementary School in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu is a district school, and the printing of modules for the 9 schools under District 4 are done here. The situation in Abono Elementary School is the same with other schools in the city. According to a DepEd official of the Lapu-Lapu Schools Division, they have not even printed 50% of the modules per grade level for the first week alone. They also lack supplies such as band papers. In Talisay City, 40 million pesos was saved from the Special Education Fund after infrastructure projects in 44 public schools in the city were suspended. This amount was originally intended for the construction of more classrooms and covered courts. But because face-to-face classes are no longer prescribed during the pandemic, the city does not see the need for more classrooms anymore. In Sarangani Island in Davao Occidental, teachers are literally walking the extra mile just to deliver the learning materials of their students who live in far-flung areas. Apart from carrying the materials, they also have to carry puddles to cross the rivers aboard a boat. These teachers go through this rigorous exercise week on week for every home visit to their students. In Sitio Bahar, Barangay Pandan in South Upe, Maguindanao, teachers have to travel in this rough road in order to get to the students of the Duray tribe. They said they lack materials to print the modules and are asking for donations to buy bond paper.
Gustong tumulong sa amin, kahit man lang din sa mga bond paper. Tsaka kasi may printer po kami, sir. Challenge din namin sa amin, sir, paano yung gawin, iniisip pa namin, anong solusyon namin doon.
I am Luan Merondina for GMA Regional TV.
Starting tomorrow, Cebu City and 5 other areas in Cebu will remain under general community quarantine. Cebu City, which used to be the epicenter of the coronavirus, will continue to implement strict health protocols. More on this from Nico Sereno of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak, live. Nico?
Yes, Caitlin, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque announced this morning that Cebu will remain on GCQ until the end of the month, which is what city officials wanted. According to Councilor Joel Garganera, IATF Deputy Chief Implementer for Cebu City, the number of COVID-19 cases is steadily going down. But despite this, the city is not lowering its guard.
Ang stand gid sa mayor together with the police, General Ferro, if our data situation will warrant for a downgrade, we would still insist that the way we run things should be GCQ.
Garganera stressed the need for the Cebu City residents to cooperate with authorities to prevent the number of COVID-19 from rising again.
Ang business group, they are now insisting we should do it gradually, no? Kingalan hinahinayo nato because they are also trying to make it safe for them.
Starting tomorrow, quarantine violators will face more stringent penalties. A fine of 1,500, 3,500 and 5,000 will be imposed on first-time, second-time and third-time offenders respectively, on top of the 30-day imprisonment. By providing a penalty, the city hopes to discipline its residents.
Pagdili sa mga tao nga mogawas nga way quarantine pass, way face mask, dili mo observe og social distancing. Ang posible ini dakpo na gid sila o niya mapasakaan og kaso sa kalapasan sa City Ordinance number 2556.
In Mandaue City, which is also on extended GCQ, single-use surgical masks are seen littered along the streets. This prompted the LGU through the Mandaue City Council to call for the responsible disposal of used face masks. Councilor Joel Seno, author of the resolution, pointed out why this is important.
There are a lot of instances nga makakita ka na ang kaning face masks nagipanglabay lang maski asa. That is one source of infection.
In Talisay City, which will also remain on GCQ, efforts to reconcile the COVID-19 data of the LGU and that of the DOH Regional Office have started. Mayor Samsam Gulyas requested this after disparities in figures were noted where COVID-19 patients who tested positive after a second swab test was counted as a new case.
Kung Talisay, ang South District doctors moingon sa damo. So maybe it's just discrepancies in numbers, but at the end of the day, hopefully mahusay na nakaroon.
In Lapu-Lapu City, also on GCQ until the end of the month, the city prosecutor's office will resume operations on Monday after the office was placed on lockdown for 14 days. This after 3 office staff tested positive for COVID-19. As part of the health protocols, only 50% of the staff will report back to work while the rest will work from home. In Cebu Province, the We Trace app, a mobile phone application, is now being used by residents of the province and those working in the cities. The work pass via this mobile app will serve as passes in provincial borders.
It was clear the governor's di ba?
pronouncement with no witness up, no entry into the province.
The LGUs where the workers reside are in charge of the approval or denial of the online work passes. Other than the cities of Cebu, Talisay, Lapu-Lapu, and Mandaue, the other areas that will remain on GCQ are the municipalities of Minglanilla and Consolacion. Caitlin.
Thank you, Nico Sereno of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak.
Golingay General Hospital in Malalag, Davao del Sur is under fire for alleged discrepancies, while Southern Philippines Medical Center admits they received the highest budget among hospitals in the country. Sheila Vergara Rubio of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao has the details live. Sheila?
Said PhilHealth confirmed they discovered substantial discrepancies with Golingay General Hospital's interim reimbursement mechanism. Meanwhile, officials of the Southern Philippines Medical Center explained why they received the highest IRM budget.
This is the billing statement of an indigent patient confined at the Golingay General Hospital in Malalag, Davao del Sur. The bill shows an excess of 4,136 pesos for the patient's confinement and rapid diagnostic test. Under the Universal Healthcare or UHC law, indigent patients admitted in private hospitals should not incur charges.
According sa ating UHC law, pag ikaw ay na-confine sa isang private hospital at ikaw ay na-admit sa ward accommodation, dapat yan no balance billing, wala ka dapat excess.
PhilHealth Region 11 found inconsistencies with the hospital's claims in their IRM. Golingay General Hospital receives an IRM of 10 million pesos every 3 months. The allocation is given to the hospital in advance to be used during times of calamity or a pandemic.
During the post-audit, we found some substantial discrepancy in their claims and medical forms. No? So because of that, we initiated administrative proceedings against the hospital based on evidences gathered during our investigation.
GMA Regional TV visited Golingay General Hospital to get the side of Dr. Rizalito Golingay, the owner of hospital. Although the main entrance of the hospital has been closed, clients were still allowed entry through a side entrance. After repeated calls and text messages, Dr. Golingay sent his reply via text message saying he will only speak at the right time and in the right forum. On top of the IRM issue with PhilHealth, the town's local building official revealed that Golingay Hospital does not have a building permit, among other violations.
Ang mga violation sa mismong hospital building niya is without a building permit and katong discharge of wastewater, o ang fire exits that exits into the property of another.
When asked, Dr. Golingay had the same reply. Meanwhile, PhilHealth confirmed that indeed Southern Philippines Medical Center received the highest interim reimbursement mechanism or IRM budget in the entire country. This was based on the average daily claims of SPMC pegged at 3.6 million pesos.
Hindi po tayo magtataka na siya ang pinakamalaki rin nakatanggap ng RIM kasi based dun sa kanilang average reimbursement per day, 3.6 million per day po siya. So kung ita-times mo po yun o multiply mo sa 90 days, nandun po siya sa mga 325 million.
The finance officer of SPMC said that since 2007, SPMC has received the biggest share in PhilHealth claims. Aside from offering various medical services, the hospital is also the largest COVID-19 referral hospital in the country.
Nationwide, kita na gyud ang highest kay aggressive mo gud itong campaign og ka PhilHealth membership, and then nag-expand po ang mga services sa SPMC. Daghan na tag capabilities ba? Maka-opera ta sa heart, naatay kidney transplant, naatay ka ng radiation. Daghan tag services nga available.
The hospital denies any form of corruption happening within their organization.
Mura ka nang wala tayo reason to defraud PHIC. Kasi government hospital man ta. Wala gid mi access ana kay everything na nabayad is gideposito sa bangko direct. Human kami mag-issue mi og mga cheque for our expenses. Pan po siya, cheque po. So, no way nga naami access sa cash.
Said aside from being the largest government hospital in the country, SPMC also remained to be the top contributor to PhilHealth's income. Said.
Thank you, Sheila Vergara Rubio of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao.
After the story of a 12-year-old boy who sells street food went viral on social media, a Good Samaritan granted his dream bicycle after watching the story on GMA Regional TV. King Guevara has the details.
Many netizens were moved by this picture of boy selling street food in Dagupan City. Carrying his basket, the boy walks around the city selling turon and lumpiang Shanghai. The boy in the pictures is 12-year-old Lowell Estrada from Barangay Tapuac, Dagupan City, the eldest among 6 siblings. The photo went viral on social media, gaining thousands of likes and shares. On August 11, GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan aired Lowell's story, which caught the hearts of viewers.
Gusto ko po magtinda para po makatulong ako sa magulang ko.
Since the start of the community quarantine, Lowell has been helping his parents in their daily expenses. Lowell's father is a delivery boy, while his mother is a housewife. Lowell dreams of becoming a successful accountant to help his family. He also wished for a bicycle, which he requested to his idol Vic Soto.
Bossing, bigyan niyo po ako ng bike. Bossing, kailangan ko po kasi para po pag may bike na po ako, papalagyan ko na lang po ng ng sidecar po, tapos ibibenta ko na lang po yung mga paninda ko habang nagbabike po.
But even before Bossing Vic got the boy's message, Good Samaritan Hil Belgica from Benguet granted Lowell's wish. Hil sent money to the boy's parents to surprise him with a new bicycle.
Kasi naawa rin ako Pinagdaanan ko rin kasi yung pinagdadaanan niya
Lowell couldn't believe his eyes when he saw his new bicycle.
Salamat po Sir Bilgika sa binigay niyo sa aking bike. Para po pag bibili kami ng mga paninda po, tas pag may nag-order po kay mama, gagamitin niya lang po.
Lowell's parents were thankful for Hill's generosity. With the money left over from the bicycle, the family was able to buy groceries.
Malaking tulong na po yun sa araw-araw na pamamalingki po nila. Sa pagtitinda na rin po ni Lowell.
As the pandemic continues to affect lives of Filipinos, Lowell is an example that nothing is impossible when you dream and stay resilient. While good Samaritans like Hill are proof that even in tough times, sharing is still possible. Together with cameraman Jing Dakanay, I am King Guevara for GMA Regional TV.
According to the latest report of the Pangasinan Provincial Health Office, the number of dengue cases went down by 50%, while cases of leptospirosis was reduced by 70% this year. John Ponsoy of GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan has the details live. John?
Said according to the latest report of Pangasinan Provincial Health Office, the number of cases of dengue went down by 50%, while cases of leptospirosis was reduced by 70% this year. The Pangasinan Provincial Health Office says that decrease in dengue cases is possibly due to the stay-at-home protocols during the community quarantine, which gave residents ample time to clean their surroundings. However, while the number of dengue cases decreased, 3 more deaths were recorded from previous year.
Dahil nga rin naman sa community quarantine ay maari pong nagkaroon po ng pagkahirap na ma-access po yung ating po mga hospital dahil nga po kulang ang mga sasakyan na pampubliko na magdadala sa kanila sa pinakamalapit na pasilidad natin.
In Barangay Salay, Mangaldan, Pangasinan, 3 children of Mang Samuel were hospitalized due to dengue fever. The siblings manifested symptoms such as fever, rashes, and nose bleeding.
Siyempre natakot kami sa una, pero sabi namin, kasama ng prayer, mga ganon. Sa katulong na rin ng mga medisina natin.
The Municipal Health Office immediately conducted a misting operation in the barangay.
Sana alisin nilang mga gulong doon, mga kahoy at saka mga kuhan na maglinis sila. Hindi naman pala na sila naglinis.
Meanwhile, the Pangasinan Provincial Health Office also reports that cases of leptospirosis dropped by 70%. In 2020, only 2 deaths were recorded compared to the 8 deaths in the same period last year.
Yung community quarantine naglimita para rin sa ating mga tricycle driver na at ating pong mga magsasaka na pumunta po sa kanilang mga kabukiran. Karamihan kasi sa mga cases po natin ay yung mga bata na nagtatampisaw po sila sa tubig o sa mga kanal, so nawala po yan.
In Dagupan City, John Bayo Jr. from Barangay 2 died last week due to leptospirosis. According to his family, his fever started when he got a wound on his foot after having a pedicure and walked through flood waters.
Sabi niya, tay, nahihirap lang umihin, di ako makaihi. Tapos pinawisan siya ng maraming pawis. Lahat ng suot niya basa.
John underwent a dialysis but eventually died.
Huwag na po natin patagalin. Para makasigurado po na protektado tayo. At kung maiwasan po na yung lumusong sa tubig baha, kung hindi man maiwasan, suot po tayo ng bota.
Health authorities remind the public to be extra careful of the diseases that can be acquired this rainy season, said
Thank you, John Ponsoy of GMA Regional TV, Balitang Amyanan.
More areas in western Visayas, particularly in Iloilo and Bacolod City, are now considered COVID-19 hotspots due to the increasing number of cases. LGUs reimposed stricter health and safety protocols like curfews and barangay disinfection. Adrian Prietos of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas has the details live. Adrian?
Yes, Caitlin, with the number of local transmissions and COVID-19 related deaths increasing, and Bacolod City IATF acknowledging the situation as critical and alarming. Bacolod City Mayor Evelio Bing Lunardia ordered public offices to fly flags at half-mast. 564 houses in 28 barangays in Bacolod City, as well as the Bacolod City Government Center, were placed on lockdown due to the increasing local cases of COVID-19. 3 Bacolod City LGU employees have died after contracting the virus.
Honestly, daw, gaka-stress out ko. Burnout, stress out. Hindi namin. Kalabanan ni subong kung hubin eh. Understandable na nga-expose kay between 25 to 64. Exposed ka. Kahit mo na yung working class mo eh.
Meanwhile, 19 employees of the Negros Occidental Provincial Government have also tested positive. The provincial capital has been placed on lockdown until Sunday. The Corazon Luxin Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital has recorded 34 COVID-19 positive cases, including 8 doctors, 6 nurses, and 20 non-medical support staff. 6 of the infected hospital personnel are renters in Barangay 18, adjacent to the hospital. 4 puroks in this barangay have been placed under 14-day lockdown. 107 of the 180 barangays in Iloilo City have recorded COVID-19 cases. Most of the local cases are call center agents, fish traders, and workers at the Iloilo Fish Port Complex. 5 barangays are currently under selective lockdown. Only authorized persons outside residents are allowed to go out. The city government coordinates with the barangay to provide food and other needs of the affected residents. The Iloilo City COVID Task Force has already laid down protocols to contain the spread of the virus, such as the immediate contamination of barangays with COVID-19 cases, the 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew, and strict observance of physical distancing in the workplace.
So una, observe na siya, gamay lang, subungit pa na COVID naton as a response man naton sa increasing nga pagtaas ng mga positive cases sa syudad. So that nga ang tanang resources ng city government mahatag dayon naton kag ma-implement sa ground.
Other LGUs have also imposed stricter measures. Guimaras Province released an executive order which declares that residents are only allowed to travel outside Guimaras twice a week, and residents who stayed outside the province for more than 2 days shall be subjected to a 14-day home quarantine and required to undergo rapid diagnostic testing. The province of Capiz now also requires medical certificates from those who will enter the province. In a virtual briefing this morning, Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque announced the quarantine classifications that will be implemented beginning tomorrow until August 31. Iloilo City from MGCQ will be placed under general community quarantine. The rest of the provinces and cities in Western Visayas will remain under MGCQ. Adding to that, Caitlin, the provincial capital of the province of Negros Occidental and the Bacolod City Government Center are expected to resume its operations this week after its lockdown. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Adrian Prietos of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas.
Some business establishments in Camarines Sur ceased operations due to the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a response, the local government unit is creating programs to help affected entrepreneurs and workers. Rain Palino of GMA Regional TV Naga has the details. Live. Rain?
Said as of today, the Department of Trade and Industry Bicol has recorded more than 75,000 registered businesses. However, since the start of COVID-19 pandemic, some of these establishments have not fully resumed operations or have decided to close. April 2020 data from DTI Bicol shows that the province of Camarines Sur has the highest number of registered businesses with 33,142, while Catanduanes has the least number in the region with 3,371. However, the DTI reports that during the implementation of enhanced community quarantine in Camarines Sur last March 16 to April 30, only 1,886 businesses operated. As of today, the DTI Camarines Sur is still finalizing the number of businesses that have resumed operations and those that have closed. Based on the July 31 data from the Naga City Treasurer's Office, 46 businesses out of the 8,286 registered businesses have already filed for closure since the community quarantine. Most of them are small enterprises.
Ang tingin ko po ay medyo mababa yung numero na yon. Pero kung yun man yung tunay na larawan, ay dapat na maging masaya pa po tayo. Ibig sabihin ay nakakayanan pa ng mga maliliit na negosyante.
Mayor Legacion added that the Sangguniang Panglungsod recently proposed the business stimulus programs, which allocates an initial amount of 10 million pesos in order to help small businesses continue. As a response to the COVID-19 pandemic, DTI Camarines Sur is offering livelihood kits, financial assistance programs, webinars, and coaching sessions.
Kung negosyante ka rin, you have to refocus also your products, your organization. Ano ba yung sa mga produktong ginagawa ko? Ano ba yung mga basic and essential dito na sa tingin ko magiging click maski nasa pandemic tayo?
Despite low sales, seamstress Leonora continues operating their dress shop at the Naga City People's Mall.
Ngunyan po, mayo kami kaya tayong mga uniform, ma'am. Ano mo, ngunyan ang eskwela baga sa ano na lang. Kaya ang ano na lang, mga pa-repair, yan, gibong mask, yun ang gibo ko.
Said despite the pandemic, many individuals have engaged into different types of businesses. The DTI advised entrepreneurs to be creative, innovative, and should be able to adapt in order to survive the new normal. Said,
Thank you, Rain Palino of GMA Regional TV Naga.
Bacolod non-siblings win gold medals in a virtual karate-do competition. Virtual events are now the new normal for sports. Adrian Prietos tells us more.
The COVID-19 pandemic did not stop the Calao siblings to add more gold medals to their growing collection as champions of the sport karate-do. Pauline, 11 years old, and Francis Zohan, 9, took home 2 gold medals each and were declared champions in a recently concluded nationwide karate-do virtual competition. These young athletes dream of joining the military someday. With the support of their parents, they have persevered and excelled in contact sports despite their tender age.
This sport is very protective and defensive that can protect us all, especially our loved ones, if we're in danger.
I get nervous, sometimes I get scared because I feel like I'm going to get injured. But thanks for the Lord that He is protecting me for everything.
They have dedicated themselves to the sport for the last 5 years, spending endless hours at the gym to master the stunts and routines. For this virtual karate-do competition, participants recorded a video of themselves doing the kata routines, which they sent to the organizers for judging.
Nowadays, ang mga bata focus mostly sa gadgets. Medyo kumbaga ang ilang physical activity, kakalipatan nila. Dako gid ang mabulig kung for example, may training, the same time, hindi lang basta karate, kundi tanan nga physical activities para sa growth man nila, the same time, para sa well-being nila nga makapabala sila kag makaano ganami ang pamatsyag nila.
The Calao siblings have proudly represented the Philippines in various international competitions. And with virtual sports competitions becoming the new normal, Pauline and Francis Zohan intend to participate in more virtual contests and sporting events in the future.
So that I can show that everybody can be strong and not always afraid, and that we can also protect our country.
Taking advantage of current technology, the new normal in sports also utilizes virtual coaching, strength conditioning, webinars, and other online advocacies that promote holistic developments of athletes. Together with cameraman Reynald Casillo, I'm Adrian Prietos for GMA Regional TV.
A Philippine eagle was rescued in Caraga, Davao Oriental, while a one-eyed piglet was born in Tangalan, Aklan. Rial Soroche tells us more.
The Philippine Eagle Foundation, together with Menro Manay and Caraga, went to Sitio Tagpanahaw, Barangay PM Sobricari, Caraga, Davao Oriental, after a Philippine eagle was accidentally caught in a trap locally called litag, intended for wild chicken. Though a far-flung area, authorities trooped to the sitio to retrieve the eagle for examination and rehabilitation. Initial check-up showed that the eagle had no injury and is in good condition.
Ang condition sa maong agila, healthy siya, safe, no injuries.
The veterinarians who attended to the eagle said it is a female and weighed 5.9 kilos.
Ang opisina sa Menro, LGU Caraga, nagpasalamat sa mga residente diha sa Sitio Tagbanahaw sa maayong pag-atima sa maong agila.
The eagle was turned over to the Philippine Eagle Foundation for further health assessment and rehabilitation. In Tangalan, Aklan, residents of Barangay Tagas were fascinated with the piglet, born with one large eye in the middle of its forehead. The piglet also had a deformed snout and mouth and had 2 ears. Residents say that because of its peculiar features, the piglet looked more like an elephant or a monkey. The owner, Allen Talaok, said it was their first time to encounter such a phenomena in an animal. And it may be due to these deformities that the piglet eventually died. In Davao City, a green sea turtle was turned over to Cleanergy Park in Punta Dumalag after it was rescued in a mangrove area in Barangay Bato, Santa Cruz, Davao del Sur. Rescuers found plastic waste from the sea turtle. An attempt to set it free proved futile as it refused to swim back into the sea. In the meantime, park personnel will provide veterinary care to the rescued sea turtle, which they now named Turtle Santa Cruz. I am Rial Soroche for GMA Regional TV.
We should be kind and take care of animals, especially our endangered species such as the Philippine eagle, right, Kate?
Yes, you know what, attorney, it is funny how beautiful the creations are made. Always remember to take care of the animals as much as we take care of ourselves.
Continue to watch updates from the regions because local news matters.
You can watch this episode and more on GMA Regional TV's official YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button to get the hottest news from the regions.
That was the biggest and the latest news from the regions. Thank you for joining us from around the Philippines as well as our kapuso abroad.
This has been GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Where local news matters. Good evening, mga kapuso.